January of 2023, I landed in Dubai for the first time. And I didn't know yet at the time, but this would turn out to be pretty much the biggest turning point in my entire life. In this video, I'm gonna give you the full story of why I moved to Dubai and how making this move changed my life in many more ways than I anticipated. The biggest reason why I relocated to the UAE was, like for many people, the tax reasons, the obvious reasons. But what I didn't realize is that there would be so many more benefits that would keep me in Dubai than just the tax savings than I would have ever realized before. So on this channel, obviously, we discuss a lot about residency in Dubai, golden visa, sort of my companies here. But in this video, I wanted to do something a little bit different and give sort of my backstory of why I came here and how being here has truly changed my life, not just in my finances, but in my relationships, health and lifestyle, and many other ways. So this can kind of hopefully serve some kind of motivation and give you perhaps more reasons to make the move if it is something that you are on the fence about. Obviously, moving here is not right for everyone, but it certainly has been for me. And in this video, after now 3 years here in Dubai, I'm going to explain exactly how this move has changed my life. So first we'll go over sort of my backstory on what I was doing before, why I came here, what I've been doing here. And I realized that on this channel, I haven't even really talked about like what I do, my backstory, like many of you might not even really know. So this might also be interesting to you for those reasons. So essentially I grew up in Finland, that is where I'm from. Over there, I grew up in a normal family, nothing special or anything like that, in a small town. And I always knew that I did not want to stay there. It was not at all the right place for me. I wanted to be somewhere exciting, somewhere where things are happening. So when it came time to go to university, I decided to go to university in the UK because I had done really well at school and I was able to get into a really good university there, and specifically in London, because at the time I believe this was 2018, London was pretty much the place to be, especially in Europe. And at the time I was going very much into the normal corporate life. I was gonna work in banking. I studied economics and everything like that. But at some point I did a internship in a bank, and that made me realize that the corporate life was absolutely not something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Basically, I realized that I completely hated the environment. I hated having someone that can tell me what to do. I didn't care how much money it made me because I was literally just depressed working in that environment. So at the same time, I started learning a lot about how to make money online, and there's all these people like making YouTube videos and making a bunch of money from it and all these different kinds of online businesses. So slowly but surely I started to figure out the different ways that I could perhaps make money online, so I don't have to go to corporate life, but instead I can make my own money and then travel the world and essentially live a life of freedom. That is always what I wanted, and what was always in my mind was that I would rather make $1,000 a month online than make $10,000 a month working some stupid job that I absolutely hate. It was never really about the money. It was always about the freedom. I wanted the freedom to be where I want, to work when I want, not have to go to an office, be able to work from home, things like that. So eventually I actually succeeded with this. I had a YouTube channel, which I still own and run to this day, where I essentially teach programming and help people learn to code and become software developers, because what I had actually done before this is transition from finance into programming. I had learned to code online on my own, become a software developer. So I started a YouTube channel about that, and that actually took off very quickly around 2022, and it quickly started making a lot more money than my, at the time, corporate salary in London. So then I came to the realization that first of all, London was not really the place to be anymore. I really did not enjoy living there nearly as much as I had before. I pretty much was looking for ways to leave already. And I also realized that pretty much half of my income, which was growing super fast from my YouTube channel, was being taken up by taxes. And I was not really getting anything in return for those taxes in the UK, or at least that is what I felt personally. So I started to look at where could I go. And when at the end of 2022, I left my corporate job in London for various reasons, I came to the realization that Dubai is the most optimal place to go. And there were really like 3 broad reasons for it. Number 1 is obviously the 0% tax. I was at the position where pretty much wherever I go, I wanted to pay low taxes because I had now this opportunity for the first time in my life where I have very high income that I didn't know how long it was gonna last. So I wanted to be able to retain as much of that income as possible, build wealth, and then even if everything crashes down, I will have a lot of wealth which I can use to live off for the rest of my life if I want to. Also, it was very easy to move there. It was easy to get residency, which is still to this day one of the primary reasons also why I recommend it for so many people. Obviously, there's many other options, but there's almost no other place that offers zero tax, and it's also easy to move to. Even most of the low tax places are quite difficult to get residency in, which is why often Dubai simply makes sense and why it made sense for me. And also it was not just a financial aspect, it was also that I expected that I would enjoy the lifestyle there at least much more than in London. What I always also wanted is to live in a place that is warm, that is sunny, where I see the sun every day, where I just feel good because I don't have to wear like coats outside and be in the rain or something like that. And the whole lifestyle around Dubai, that seemed to be a very exciting place, seemed to be a place where a lot of people are moving. So I was like, this is clearly the best option to have. Let me go there, let me see how I feel about it. And then if I don't like it after a couple of years, I can obviously just leave and leave with my tax-free money. So at the time, I had no idea if I'm gonna stay. And if it was the case that the tax savings were the only benefit, pretty much at this point, going into 2026, would probably be about the time when I would be leaving. But I have no plans of leaving whatsoever. And now I'm gonna explain how this has actually transformed my life in many more ways than I ever anticipated. So obviously first we need to talk about the taxes, because the impact of it is really much bigger than most people even realize. Like, my thinking was always that I don't know how long I'm gonna have a super high income. I wanted to be at the point where if something went wrong, like all my businesses died or whatever, I would have enough money where I'm basically gonna be fine. Because what that would give me is the feeling of freedom, that no matter what happens, I'm gonna be fine. And that is why it's so important to optimize your taxes, because it simply allows you to get to that point so much faster. Now, after 3 years, if I had stayed in the UK or in some other high tax country, I would be less than halfway through to my financial goals. And the feeling of freedom I have right now is so much higher than if I had like less than half of the savings that I have right now. And that in and of itself has such a huge impact on my quality of life that you simply cannot imagine if you have not experienced it. But the financial benefits aren't really only about the tax savings, because coming here has also actually increased my income. So at the time, my only business was that other YouTube channel, the coding YouTube channel, which I still run. It's still super profitable. But now I also have 2 other businesses that I was able to start only because of people that I met in Dubai. One of them is this YouTube channel right here. Here, I was able to build a partnership with Genzone, the people that I mainly work with on this channel and who I promote here, help people make the same move that I did, relocate here to Dubai. And that and a couple of other partnerships I have on this channel have allowed this channel to become a business that has at times even surpassed my other YouTube channel, which is quite interesting because that other channel has like 10 times the subscribers. That would not have been possible had I not come here. Also, on top of that, because I am still also a software engineer, I actually also have a software business, which is actually going super quickly. That software business was only started because I knew a friend who is now my business partner, who I only met because I was in Dubai, because Dubai is the kind of place where these kinds of entrepreneurial people are going. It's actually quite easy to network here once you at least make a couple of connections. And because of this networking, I now literally have a software business that could really turn out well for me, and it's already turning out well for me. So not only am I saving a much bigger part of my income than I would be otherwise, but also the gross income has also grown. So it's like a double whammy. So I'm so much wealthier than I would be if I hadn't come here. But it's not even about the finances. What I didn't realize is just how much this would make my social life more rich, because obviously I was going through this transition where I was going from corporate life to being an entrepreneur. And when I become an entrepreneur, naturally I'd like to be friends with other entrepreneurs. And is that something I could do in London? Sure, but it would be much more difficult because London is literally a place where all entrepreneurs are living. Like, anyone who can is living there. And where are they going? Well, for example, Dubai. I've made so many amazing friends here who I can relate to because they do the same kinds of things as I do, and it has made my social life so much richer as well, which I don't think would have happened had I not made the move. On top of this, of course, my lifestyle has improved so much. I expected I would enjoy it here, but I didn't expect just how much I would enjoy really, like, just the fact that I can see the sun every single day rather than like gray skies in the UK has improved my mood, just how I feel every day so much that even if there was no other benefit, that benefit alone would make it worth it. There are so many things to do here. The place is growing so fast. It's of course so safe, which I also didn't realize just how much that would improve my quality of life. Like just having that feeling that I don't have to worry about anything. I can go for a walk at night, I can let my girlfriend go for a walk at night and nothing is going to happen. And also in terms of health, obviously because I feel so much better every single day, because it's so easy to eat healthy, great food in Dubai, because it is so convenient here. And people might think that something like the bad air quality, which is a real issue here, would make this an unhealthy place, but that is absolutely not being the case for me, because as long as you just have an air purifier inside and things like that, that doesn't really become such a big problem. And also, again, going back to the finances, because I have so much more wealth than I would have otherwise, I have so much more money that I can invest back into my health. I'm just moving into my new apartment very soon. I'm gonna buy a super nice bed, an amazing air purifier, like all these different things to really optimize my health, which I would not really be willing to do if I wasn't in the financial position that I'm able to be in because of being in Dubai. Now, of course, there's also problems here. It is not a perfect place. Of course, no place is perfect. And am I saying that I'm gonna stay here forever? Maybe, maybe not. I can't really tell you that at this point. As much as I've lived here 3 years, I don't spend the entire year here because there's also so many other places that I like. I like being kind of a digital nomad. So it is possible that eventually I will find another place that is more optimal for me at that stage of life. But that could also not happen. And in general, if you're thinking about moving to Dubai, moving here now doesn't have to mean that you stay here forever. For many people, it is a place where you can go for a couple of years. You can take that time to really focus on your business, make a lot of money, and then you can take that tax-free money and take it to whatever is your final destination. That is absolutely fine as well. And for many people, that is what Dubai can give you. It can give you that financial freedom. You can then take wherever you want to. But for the foreseeable future, I have no plans of living. I could certainly never imagine going back to my old life in Europe. But that takes us to the end of the video. Now, if you yourself are interested to relocate to Dubai yourself, I actually made a full guide on how to do that in 2025. You can watch that video right here. And with that said, I will see you in the next video.